Thank you for joining us for day 2 at the 2025 Junior Roller Derby Association World Championships. I'm Sweet Fanny Adams.
And I am Kilbo Baggins. We are thrilled to be back on track 2 today. Team New Zealand up against Team Australia first up.
And representing for Team New Zealand, we have the Skeleton, Gemski, Cookie Monster, Fearless, Whiskers, Black Widow, Glitter Bomb, Glider, Dynamite, Alarm Her, Rainbow Dash, Ghost Pepper, Chaos, Manic Mushroom, and Ink Spell.
And up for Team Australia this morning, we have 2 Up, Rat Bag, Spitfire, Sarah, Pocket Rocket, Iris, Double Whammy, Artemis, Livid Love, Madness, Wheels, Masho, Cat Crusader, April O'Wheel, and Slappy Little Vegemite.
Fantastic. Cannot wait to see. I have not had the privilege of seeing these teams play yet. I believe, Kilbo, you were commentating both teams yesterday?
Yeah, I've had the absolute pleasure of looking after both teams on multiple occasions yesterday, and this is going to be a very, very tight game as both teams on the Fem division have won 2 games and lost 2 games of their pool division so far. And ironically, they've had the same wins and same losses against the very same teams.
Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be very, very good to see how these two go against each other.
Absolutely. I think we'll have a very tightly matched contest today. A bit of friendly rivalry from teams across the pond.
Oh, hello. It's Australia, New Zealand. I'm a key Australian, so I've felt this. In Australia, we sometimes get that. Yeah, it's New Zealand. It's same diff. Oh, no. It's a diff. When it's game time, we love it. It's like siblings. It's like family.
Absolutely. Sibling rivalry. We love each other, and then we put on our different coloured uniforms. You put on the black with the silver, and you put on the green and gold, and all's fair in love and war.
On. Absolutely. And it's great to see so many people online joining us to support their teams. Fantastic. We've got lots of folks coming in. Red Roses back in New Zealand. Oh, Naomi, thanks. Good to see you. We've got a few for Team Australia because not everyone was able to make it down here to Mount Warren Park here in Brisbane. Beautiful Logan City, big supporters of the roller derby.
Yeah, they've taken great care of us. If you can hear the cheers already, it is from the action over on track 1. But the teams are getting warmed up and ready. We're going to be underway.
All right, there goes Team New Zealand. Everyone is firing up. We are apparently 14 seconds to roller derby. Teams taking the track. I can see Manic Mushroom, Glider, and Gemski out on track. I believe that was Alarm Her as the pivot for Team New Zealand.
So we'll have Ink Spill jamming first up for Team New Zealand up against Wheels for Team Australia. As the rolling whistle, we are about to get underway.
And big shout out to Sports Connection Australia for streaming all the action here on track 2.
5 seconds is called and our day 2 action is about to start.
That's it. You can see the packs lining up and drawing back to be right on top of both jammers for this initial pass. Some hectic footwork, and that is Ink Spill. Beautiful work out the front there to make it past that Australian defence.
Australia sinking right back onto the New Zealand team, offering some offense, allowing Wheels to come through on her initial pass.
Fantastic footwork around that apex from Wheels there.
Ink Spill, not to be outdone though, comes through, slips with the pack, grabs all 4 points and calls it off.
And quit. Now, how were the games yesterday? On track 1, we were seeing a lot more full jams running where teams were playing to get the higher point splits, I believe. They were looking for the differentials.
A lot more strategic here. I've noticed a lot on the Fem division that the jammers are very in tune with their benches. We're seeing some quick call-offs, some strategic point grabbing as well, and then also generally it has been a couple of jammer penalties. We can get some power jams.
Oh, that was happening, and a brilliant opening of the outside line there for Chaos. The New Zealand blockers doing a beautiful job there.
Slappy Little Vegemite.
Oh, and a beautiful takedown at the front of pack. That was number 19.
Double whammy.
On Australia, trying the chest block. Didn't pull it off that time. I think you'll see that technique change up as this game progresses.
Yeah. Slappy Little Vegemite still struggling against some really wonderful New Zealand defense there.
And that is Manic Mushroom with the one-on-one booty blocking there. And now we have the one-on-one face-to-face. But look at Slappy Little Vegemite. No surrender, no give there.
And the race for the run back is Jemski from Team New Zealand is drawing Slappy all the way to the back of the pack.
Devastating for any jammer, but you can see the focus on Slappy's face. That is no loss of focus there.
No. Chaos there, drawing Australia's defence to the outside of that first corner and then sliding up the inside. Really, really smart jamming.
That's a nice formation there from Australia. Very strong position, and they're holding Chaos down for a moment. Brilliant backup.
Double whammy going for the chest catch.
Good yield back. Chaos looking to the bench, being told they're allowed to call that one off because the Australian defence all over the end of that jam. So Australia, you can already see, starting to tighten things up, getting the measure of their opposition.
Oh, and there's the confirmation. Slappy Little Vegemite had attempted a little apex jump right as the whistles were called, but denied any points on that time. Fast, but not fast enough.
That will happen now on our jammer line. Oh, my eyeballs. I need bigger.
That's Livid Love for Team Australia up against Black Widow for Team New Zealand.
We can look at the board.
We can look at the board.
It's on the screen, thanks, Jen.
You're so welcome. Livid Love pushing up against some very strong New Zealand defence at the front. But that is
look at
Black
that.
Widow
the yield
through
back
with lead.
Rainbow Dash taking the Australian and a hip check to the in. Yielded back again. All right,
Black Widow absolutely demolishing Ratbag on the way through for the pack, grabbing 4 more points for New Zealand.
So I think we can already see, as you said, Kilbo, this is going to be a very exciting game because we know this is early jams. As games progress, teams evolve.
Absolutely.
And we are not going to see any give in either team for the duration.
And the crowd is already here and warmed up, ready to go. We're getting some big cheers from inside the stadium.
Fantastic support for our athletes here. This is world class. Oh, all right. Not what New Zealand want at this point. Black Widow to the penalty box. So it is power jam now. Team Australia. Blockers have one job. Protect and get their jammer through. You can see the jammer is looking winded. I don't blame them. You put that jammer cover on, you are a target. You know you're copping heat.
Absolutely. Sarah from Team Australia providing some excellent offense, trying to get Livid Love through to grab more points. But again, recycled to the back of the pack by New Zealand blocker Dynamite.
Livid Love working hard, making sure no penalty for them, doing what they can against this brutal opposition. Rainbow Dash, front of the pack. That was our 2 minutes. Livid Love has to be relieved that that one is over.
Absolutely. So we do have Australia on the scoreboard now. Livid Love did manage to grab all 4 points in that absolutely brutal power jam.
That is the focus, and it is devastating to watch a player go through that, but so inspiring to see the drive, the determination, and to see that get rewarded with the points.
And these teams have played 4 games already, and don't let the half-hour games fool you. They're working so hard.
They're playing this intensity every step. They have half an hour. Yes, the crowd goes wild.
That is the first lead jammer status for Australia with wheels, but that is Inkspill hot on her heels, only a quarter track behind.
Meanwhile, just Spunky 3. I hear your pain. Who to cheer for? Derby is the correct answer. Go roller derby.
That was some pinpoint perfect toe-stop work by Wheels on the outside, collecting all 4 points for Australia. Inkspill
magnificent.
Did manage to grab 2 for Team New Zealand in that jam, though. So Australia finding a bit of momentum now. New Zealand
starting to get the measure of their opposition, finding what they need to do to get their plays working, and this is how we are going to see this.
I have noticed that with Team Australia yesterday. They just take 2 or 3 jams to really find their rhythm, and then they come in really fighting. But New Zealand's been coming out from the gates hot all day yesterday.
Well, there we go, and there we go again. That is chaos. There was a slight hop through the pack there. We've got Glider out the front of the pack for Team New Zealand, joining up with Manic Mushroom, now being backed up and supported by Alarm Her.
Attempted apex jump there by Chaos, but denied and drawn back by Double Whammy from Team Australia.
And Slappy Little Vegemite, good fight there, doing what they can to try to shift that New Zealand defence. Fantastic assist there. 2 up coming through. Crowd going wild as Slappy Little Vegemite finally breaks free of that New Zealand opposition. Oh, you may have noticed, I don't know if we actually caught that on screen, New Zealand jammer Chaos looking off track. They were watching to see if they were going to be given the direction to call off or if they wanted to draw out the points lead.
Again, the connection with these jammers and their bench is pin perfect. They're really in tune.
On track 1 as well yesterday, it was great because this team, it exists on and off track. The comms that come from the bench can make the difference to the game, and it's great to see all these players are that well attuned to their support crew and to their bench managers, coaches.
So this is 0-8 now. This is a new jammer for Australia. This is Rat Bag working at the front of the pack and grabbing another lead jammer status for Team Australia.
Black Widow not having any joy at the back of the pack until get some assists. There was some lower leg contact with Black Widow just before they left the pack, but meanwhile, Rat Bag, oh, go Rat Bag. I'm sorry, I'm going to fangirl slightly. I've spent a lot of time up with Toowoomba. So coming from Toowoomba, I have had the chance to see Rat Bag progress as a player. I got to scrim with and against their older sibling, Jazz.
Oh, lovely.
Little bit of Derby royalty, just I squeal.
Rat Bag doing everything for her team right now. Trying to get out the 2 Australia blockers that are in the bin, reform her team to full strength, all while scoring points. It's really, really well done.
And that last manoeuvre there, holding on against that powerful booty block right up to the line that I could see, but staying in bounds, little hop to get themselves past. No hands involved, just gorgeous.
So it's turning into quite a big jam for Australia, one they desperately needed. The crowd is really loving to see it. But awesome work by Black Widow, who was through the pack.
Black Widow wants to get the call off her. The bench is not giving Black Widow.
Unfortunately trying to call it off, but not lead.
I think Black Widow is a little winded there. Would love to get the break. The 30 seconds in between jams is sometimes what these players really need to reset themselves.
Absolutely. Tried to stick up the outside, but drawn all the way back by Spitfire and Sarah from Team Australia.
And the jam does end. That looks like alarm her off to the penalty box.
And a 13-point jam there for Team Australia. 14.
Fantastic, fantastic. And this is what we see. So New Zealand's lead has slowed down. They were at 30 points to Australia's 8. Australia now winding that lead back in. They're up to 22 points to New Zealand's 40.
It's a really great jam by Ratbag as they managed to clear the entire Spank Alley penalty box as well. Get Australia back to full strength.
Great strategy from the Australian team there. Now we have number 9, Ink Spill, jamming for New Zealand.
And Wheels up for Australia with a hop and a skip on the inside line.
Beautiful clearing of that inside line by the Australian blockers. And beautiful holding. Ink Spill taken down.
Beautiful
but
hit
Ink Spill
out.
did cut track. It is now an Australia power jam.
And Wheels will love that. Australia's been looking for a power jam. And beautiful transition and a spin on the inside.
The Australian blockers splitting the New Zealand defence into 2 and 2. 2 blockers front and back, giving Squeals what they needed to get past.
Big hits delivered in this offense as Wheels sneaks through again. 4 more points.
So Australia definitely coming into their own, finding their stride.
Absolutely. It's something they've been doing all weekend. Wheels through back in the pack, skating backwards.
Oh, a beautiful hip check on the inside was from Rainbow Dash. Not enough to take Wheels off the track. Wheels keeping moving, that is pivotal. When you are taking the hit, if you can keep moving, you can. If you have the skills that Wheels does, you transition the hit from that, the momentum from that hit to your advantage.
And just keeping upright is something admirable, but then calling off with style. They fall and call, a classic move in roller derby. Gets moved to the inside, still collects 2 points and calls it off from the ground.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that has closed down. Oh my God. Do your Kilbo, please.
Oh, please. That is a 14-point jam there for Australia, bringing the points differential to just 4 points. New Zealand ahead at 40, Australia on 36 as we get back underway.
Now we have Chaos back up and jamming again for New Zealand.
Slappy little Vegemite working at the front for Team Australia.
Water falling there from Dynamite, Rainbow Dash and Skeleton to try, and they have managed to contain Slappy little Vegemite. We do have a penalty.
Whistles going everywhere. Unfortunately, Slappy sent to the bin. It is a power jam for Team New Zealand and Chaos.
Oh, and the dance on the outside line that we caught there. Chaos, beautiful toe stop where to stay inbounds. And pack advantage, New Zealand.
Beautiful work there by the tripod of Team New Zealand, just trapping the Australian players, making them unable to move backwards to try and catch Chaos.
Correct. Great work and good coverage of that inside line there. That was Dynamite providing the cover. But look at that follow-up by Team Australia, the one-on-one, taking a little of the wind out of the sails of Chaos. Any few seconds you can take away from a jammer is to your team's advantage.
You want to kill as much of that penalty time for your jammer as possible, and they've done a really good job. Slappy back on track now in amongst the pack.
And that has changed the dynamic entirely. The pack is moving far more slowly. We are not seeing the jammers coming out as quickly. Chaos is through again, looking to the shadow to see if they are being given the okay to call off. The disappointment on Chaos's face, not seeing that they were allowed to call the jam off.
Thinking they had to run one more. May I just say, a little bit of fangirling from the commentary table over here. Chaos has had an absolutely stellar weekend so far.
That was fantastic to hear. I have not seen these teams before, so you have the background. You know what these guys have been doing.
Chaos I saw mostly as a blocker yesterday in the teams.
I love, as tournaments progress, I love seeing how that switches up, where they shift that maybe, you know, they've got strengths here, but we will let them warming up, or is that to progress the team?
I'm not sure, but it was really effective.
And I love a jammer who can block, because when do you ever not need to block as a jammer? Unfortunately for New Zealand, Black Widow, high block Black Widow was holding their face. There was obviously some impact initiated by Black Widow, unfortunately for New Zealand. But for Australia...
That is April O'Wheel, a personal friend of mine, someone I play against in the adult competition in Victoria.
Bless.
The first jam I've seen from them this whole weekend.
Okay, interesting times.
And doing it very effectively. Lead jammer through with 4 points, getting super low on those apexes, skating with style.
It does go to show that it is not necessarily getting through fastest that is your friend. Sometimes you need to make sure you get through clean. It takes a bit longer, but it's picked up lead for Australia. And there we have, Dynamite. Beautiful chest blocking there. Now being helped by Manic Mushroom, but we have Australian assistance. Was that Artemis?
Artemis, the only player for Team Australia on the track at the moment.
And
just barreled through by Black Widow.
Black Widow knowing they needed to take the track and take that blocker out of their way.
Penalty box emptying out, the Spank Elliott penalty box. More Australian players back on track. Same for Team New Zealand.
Dynamite, Dynamite, Dynamite. Oh.
And that is a penalty for April O'Wheel and Team Australia. It is a power jam again, and now a 2-minute jam for the remainder here.
Oh, and there's Black Widow letting their blockers know, I want you to fight, fight, fight. They want the assist. They want their blockers in there, and I don't blame them, because look at that Australian formation locking down.
Great blocking there by Artemis. Again, another teammate of mine.
Artemis, Sarah, who else do we have? The Australian blockers, fantastic. You can see, and Black Widow looking to call off and getting the head shake. You can't, babe. You are not lead
Not
jammer.
lead. So that was a fabulous jam, and it is going to be a pack advantage going into this next one here. There are 2 blockers from Team New Zealand in the bin, but the Australian jammer is also still stuck in the bin.
All right, so we have pack advantage Australia.
But jammer advantage New Zealand.
All right, so it does make life harder as a blocker. However, it is single focus for both these blocking teams at this point.
And from the defense we've seen so far from Team New Zealand, I would not discount them having only 2 blockers out on the track.
Absolutely no, but it'll be very interesting to see what Australia, because it's both your dream and your nightmare to only have one jammer on track, but it does sharpen everyone's focus. If you've ever, when you're playing these games, the initial pass, the focus on getting your jammer through while containing the opposition jammer, the split focus of a team between offense and defense, can really make pivotal difference on a first part. This pass, I feel for the jammer because they know the entire opposition only have one job, which is to stop them.
It is a scary thing going in for a power jam, and it must be even scary knowing that your two buddies that are out there, you've only got two of them, you've got four Australian defensive blockers to get
You're
through.
glad to have those two buddies there. Those are two good buddies, because that looks to me, I can't see if that's glider, my eyeballs.
I believe that's glider.
I can see alarm her, 45, and
alarm
glider.
her and glider.
So that would be definitely giving me confidence as the jammer.
Absolutely.
But I would want as much help as I could get.
Yeah.
It's honest. It's a hard roll.
And April O'Wheel is standing in the penalty box, the Spank Alley penalty box as well. So she's got 10 seconds or less before her penalty is up.
So the pressure is really on Team New Zealand to maximise whatever time they have with this power jam. It is not long. Australia knows that. They know they don't have to hold this jammer for long.
And they have put Wheels out as a pivot as well. One of their very strong jammers out wearing the pivot
excellent as a backup, depending on what happens. So nice.
There's
It's a good
always
backup
a backup
strategy.
plan.
Absolutely. It's my favourite aspect of this game. I used to say it was violent chess because in the adult leagues, quite frankly, we hit a lot more than we really needed to. Because I'd say a lot of us came to roller derby not necessarily through skating.
Yes.
So the contact aspect of the sport was used a lot more because I don't know that we had as good control as the juniors coming through now. They learn when, how, and why to deliver impact. Because as soon as you start delivering impact, you multiply your chance of penalties about 4 times, because there are 4 different aspects of an impact penalty that you can mess up. So they do it when it matters, and the control that you see on these players. And this is our next generation. This is what I love. This is where our roller derby is heading. This is our generation shifting.
You'll see so many of these players moving into their countries' teams for the Adult World Cup in a few years' time. We just come off the back of the World Cup in Austria. We're here in Brisbane. These players are incredible. And it's really interesting they're saying about these impacts being so safe and so controlled when these packs are moving incredibly fast. The fluidity of the defense, they are just rotating and reforming at the front of the pack, doing one-on-one blocking, back to pair blocking, back to a tripod, back to being a single person again.
Early days of the resurgence of roller derby in Australia. Team Victoria, I used to love. When we got to see them on the Gold Coast, it was a strange situation because it was stadium seating. We were up very high. We weren't down on floor level. But it gave us an opportunity to see how Team Victoria were playing.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was like smoke with the formations forming up, and then as soon as they were no longer effective, they would just disperse and reform as something new. And that is what we are now seeing is becoming a bit of a standard for our sport.
Absolutely.
Clearly around the world, because players here, I am particularly seeing it here. On track one, I was seeing a lot more of the very rigid formations. Not necessarily in that they were not flowing with them. Possibly they were able to hold the formations longer and better. But when they broke up, sometimes the reforming was not quite as fluid. We're seeing what looks to me, and they possibly will look to you at home, like messier packs, but you don't see the jammers coming through, which means those packs are doing that beautiful smoke thing of this isn't working and flowing somewhere else and then congealing in front of the opposing jammer for just that moment that they need.
Absolutely. I think it is a big difference between the Fem division here on track 2 and the Open on track 1 is the power that the open gender jammers are coming in through. You need that rigidity to just stop them coming in.
Absolutely. There is the moment, though, where one must soften, become like water to absorb the impact so it doesn't ping you off. We could talk about this for ages, though.
Ages and ages. We are back on now with the power jam for Team New Zealand. April O'Wheel, though, has been released from the Spank Alley penalty box. Lead is still open.
Inkspill, but April O'Wheel back in. Inkspill unable to get through that Australian defence. And yes, this is what Australia were working for. New Zealand doing a fantastic job to delay that lead jam situation as long as they could. Australia, fantastic work.
It seems we had a no pass, no penalty. April O'Wheel has not been granted lead jammer status.
Now, April has passed the helmet cover off. We've got a star. Pass to alarm her.
So it will be a 2-minute jam as April O'Wheel was not granted lead jammer status, but is in the pack scoring points and more points for Australia. Star pass completed to Alarm Her for Team New Zealand, who's also in amongst the pack now on a scoring pass.
All right, now we're seeing the formations coming up. April O'Wheels driving, trying to break through that formation. No help given because Team Australia out the front are trying to hold up, and Alarm Her has cut track. That was what Team Australia wanted. That is not what Team New Zealand were hoping for.
No, and particularly because there is still a
entire 2 minutes. There will be no call. Oh, no, there will be no call off.
No call off. So April O'Wheels got just over 30 seconds to make the most of this opportunity for Team Australia, bringing up that points differential.
Now you can see April O'Wheels talking to their pack. They want some assistance because they have been taking big hits. They've given big pushes. The power they were driving through the legs to try to break through the New Zealand defence on that earlier lap.
They've had to work so incredibly hard. This is the second jam in a row after they had to sit in the bin.
Oh,
just
beautiful little hip check there from Ink Spill on April O'Wheels. Dino Tallow just off camera.
Just letting the clock wind down there. So that brings us back to a 10-point game. 15 points there on that
I'd forgotten
jam.
to look at the board and the scores while that official timeout was going on. And I'm shocked that there is still 10 points in it. I didn't know if we've had a lead change. It's just incredible.
It's really great to see. So it looks like...
So, no power jam start.
No power jam.
Chaos
up for Team New Zealand.
Oh, Rainbow Dash hitting out the Australian jammer.
That is number 6 for Australia. Cat Crusader.
Nope.
Being drawn back there by Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash is doing so. Oh, but finding the inside line. Slappy Little Vegemite had inside line coverage. I didn't see the other Australian blocker, but they held that line, got out of the way. Technically beautiful.
Oh, and an absolutely perfect star pass there from Chaos to Rainbow Dash on the outside. That was swift and perfect pass.
Now the New Zealand defence trying to hold Cat Crusader in. Cat listening and hearing the bench telling them to call that one off before the star that had passed a Rainbow Dash.
Absolutely, and all 4 points collected as KO for the Team Australia bench coach screaming to call it off. I recognise that voice anywhere. I am very proud to be a teammate of KTKO, the Team Australia bench coach.
So holding New Zealand to no points. That is 62 Australia, 68 New Zealand. And we have Black Widow jamming for New Zealand. We're up against Ratbag. Ratbag, Ratbag, Ratbag!
Team Australia working on that beautiful smoke show of defense.
Oh, what incredible work there. Black Widow devastating blocking on that inside line, holding themselves in bounds against that blocking power. Blocking back to get themselves through on the point scoring pass.
Absolutely, and while they're still trying to do
because do we have 2 New Zealand blockers?
2 New Zealand blockers.
Only 2 New Zealand blockers on pack. So Black Widow really doing the lion's share of the work to get themselves through, but now coming against that green and gold wall of pain.
Unfortunately, it is a...
Chaos trying to help, sweeping the brace.
Forearms penalty for Ratbag. It is a power jam opportunity here for Team New Zealand.
Team New Zealand not able to maximise for a while there. Chaos working so hard, but now Chaos has some help as more New Zealand blockers are released from the penalty box. Chaos through.
Black Widow. So the Spank Alley penalty box is free of blockers. I say this right now as Chaos from Team New Zealand skates right in front of the commentary desk to join us in the Spank Alley penalty box.
Black Widow coming through on their 3rd scoring pass. No lead jammer, 2 Widows, but Ratbag, you can tell from the crowd, Ratbag back on track. Team Australia holding the inside line again. Ratbag bracing off their teammates to get past on the inside.
Holding
Beautiful
the inside
awareness from the blockers.
And holding the jammer at the same time. That is some brutal defense there by Sarah and Iris and Spitfire from Team Australia. Sarah with the long drawback.
Sarah being given a penalty there, but that was amazing work. Holy. Oh, looking at the scoreboard. What a jam. What amazing jam. Australia getting lead, going to the penalty box, but still getting 14 points. New Zealand picking up 11 points. 76 Australia, 79 New Zealand. And how much time? We still have 8 minutes left on the clock. This is why these are half-hour games, and this is why it's this intense. They have 30 minutes to progress themselves and their countries through this tournament, so nothing is being left.
Absolutely not. I am so thrilled with the quality of gameplay, knowing that these teams were coming in so evenly matched. Yes. And New Zealand taking that early momentum, but Australia not giving up, not backing down, coming through with grit and power as we look to get back underway with Fearless for Team New Zealand and Wheels for Team Australia up on the jam line.
We definitely have seen Australia sharpen up their gameplay more successfully than New Zealand have to this point, but the game is not over yet. There is still plenty of time for New Zealand to come back the same way Australia have. They are holding on to their lead at the moment. Can they tighten up their own strategies and defence against Australia's improved gameplay?
Absolutely. Fearless battling up the front against Australia's defence as that is for Team
09.
Glider, drawing back Wheels to the very
Fearless
back of the pack.
jamming for Team Australia, and such hard work, such a fight out the front to finally be yielded to the back of the pack there.
A bit of a switcheroo. Wheels
and
at the
there
front.
we go. Beautiful. Thank you, Jen. Beautiful pickup on that action. Stunning to see the technique and the skills there. That tiny gap. Oh, glitter bomb. Hitting out.
Another fall and call, my favourite kind of calling with style. Picking up 3 points for Team Australia. We have a tied game. Tied game with under 7 minutes left to go. And a new jammer up on the line here for Team Australia. That is Pocket Rocket.
Absolute
chaos.
Chaos. Absolute nail biter of a game. Spank Alley penalty box. Is that an empty penalty box?
That's an empty Spank Alley penalty box.
This is what we want. All players on track. I know our jammers don't want that. But this is fantastic. These are tight teams. We're getting hit outs and yield backs already. Look at the difference this makes. And both teams they have really formed up. We are now seeing strong formations that are locking down so that amorphous shapes that were happening before, they're more free-flowing. Both teams are locking down. They are getting stronger formations and better hold.
It is a power jam opportunity here for Australia as Chaos
Tidy little head out. I believe that was by Whiskers on New Zealand. There's Alarm Her now on the chest of Pocket Rocket, hanging on like an absolute legend.
That Australian defense doing everything to keep
Glider and Alarm Her forming up.
The power of Pocket Rocket coming through, just absolutely demolishing her way through New Zealand's
defense. And sometimes that's what the jammers have to. They know there's no point. You don't wait to take the hit. Sometimes you take the hit to that opposition.
Pocket Rocket through with 4 more points as Chaos is released from the Spank Alley penalty box, back on track.
Whistles come. I'm not sure. That was Team Australia losing a blocker to the bin as Pocket Rocket, tidy little hand on the hip of a teammate, little hop over the inside line.
Trying to capitalize on this opportunity as Chaos is still working and through on her initial pass.
Oh, and
Big
that is
hit.
Glitter Blom. Chest takedown at the front of pack. Team Australia calling. Glitter Bomb. Calling to the crowd, looking for that support. They know in these last minutes of the game, crowd support does help carry our players forward.
You need the energy. You can feel it in the room. I'm getting the shakes. I'm
but
so
what
excited.
an incredible jam.
15 points for Pocket Rocket and Team Australia, pushing them ahead for the first time in a little while with 4.5 minutes remaining.
79 New Zealand, 94 points Australia, and the Australian jammers now coming out very offensively. Number 51 is Wheels. just taking the hit straight to the blockers.
Madness trying to stop Inkspill on her way through, but couldn't quite stop her all the way. The momentum was too great.
Which is fantastic, given the pack advantage Australia had at that point. So now we're seeing it. Wheels taking the points, hit and quit. And 1 point. A point, 4 points for Team Australia. 1 point picked up at the back for Team New Zealand. I'm so glad I'm sitting down, people, because I'm shaking.
I can't keep myself still. I can't be my morning coffee. It's just the atmosphere in here.
Oh,
3.5 minutes to go.
Is.
Australia pulling ahead, 18 points the difference. It's still way too close to call.
We have seen bigger than 18-point jams.
Slappy little Vegemite up against Black Widow here. We have seen this pairing before, and both defenses are
and look at those solid defenses. Solid. Jammers working hard. Jammers are communicating to their packs. Black Widow pushing.
Looking for the star pass.
Look at those legs. Alarm Her coming back to take a star. But is that slappy little Vegemite on the chest of Alarm Her? There's some payback because Alarm Her was chest blocking Slappy. The star has passed Rainbow Dash, but Team Australia waterfalling. Oh!
Beautiful catch by April O'Wheel.
April O'Wheels, I apologise. Not Slappy little Vegemite. April O'Wheels.
Slappy is through for lead, though.
Jammer. Lead jammer.
Again, the versatility of these players. They're going from blocking to jamming, back to blocking.
As they do. Rainbow Dash hitting out.
Some confusion about who is the jammer. Alarm Her dropping the star on the track, ready for the release.
So Team New Zealand currently no jammer on track as the jammer cover is waiting.
Slappy little Vegemite.
And Dynamite taking the hit to Slappy little Vegemite, knocking in bounds. Now we see Black Widow back on track, picking up the pivot, the jammer cover.
So we're still working on the initial pass here because the star pass was not successfully completed.
Which did... It ended the initial pass. So this is now.
Now we have an initial pass completed.
And a brilliant hit out front of Pack Chaos and nicely avoiding Team Australia.
So much
defense.
going on. Slappy through with 4 more points for Australia. Calling it off there as New Zealand was re-entering the pack.
Perfectly timed. No points there. Team Australia.
So a bit of whistle bleed. If you do see players continuing to skate, it is because there is so much noise going on in this venue between
There's
us.
Some bleed across from the other tracks. It does get confusing for all of us. It does happen at these tournaments.
All right, this could be our last jam. We have just over a minute left. Australia has pulled ahead 26 points. But again, this still could be a last hurrah for Team New Zealand. I would not rule them out just yet.
We definitely cannot. And we're looking at the penalties there for Team New Zealand. We have foul outs for Team New Zealand. Glider, Rainbow Dash, and Manic Mushroom. This is how hectic these games have been.
And for Australia as well, Sarah and April O'Wheel being fouled out. But, you know, the effort
hardly
they put
surprising what they're doing at this point. And it is the last minutes of the game. They are just putting everything into it. The harder you play, the closer you come to penalty zone.
Yep.
We do sometimes go over. It happens. But both teams, just the gameplay that is going on.
Absolutely. It's an interesting thing in Derby.
Phenomenal.
Oh my gosh. But like in a full game, you get 7 penalties, and sometimes you get 6 of those in the first half, and then you sweep for the second half.
It's weird how that can work. These guys don't have that first half, second half advantage. They've got the 5 penalties for safety's sake, playing these shorter games.
And we're back on our different timeout. We've got Wheels up on the jam start line for Team Australia up against Inkspill for New Zealand.
All right,
Wheels
so Chaos now pivoting. Chaos on the chest. Oh, able to avoid the booty block. There goes Wheels. But there also goes Inkspill.
So Wheels through the pack first, but with a no pass, no penalty is
It'll be
not
interesting.
lead.
Oh, and okay, Team New Zealand.
Inkspill calling it off there. We will get one more jam.
A strong direction from the bench there to call that one off to get the one last jam. Glitter Bomb calling out to Skeleton.
Glitter Bomb.
They're doing a change bomb, a change up.
Rat Bag up for the final jam here. Can't quite
Team
see
New Zealand.
Gillett. Looks like Inkspill back on the track again.
Inkspill going back to back. Nice one.
Only 2 Australian blockers on the track.
As the blockers sink back. So advantage New Zealand. They take that as they New Zealand defence now does the Australian move from before, containing the jammer while holding the inside line for Inkspill to run up. They are still holding Inkspill around. It's an uphill battle. We have 22 more points are needed, but we have seen 30-point jams. A tidy little apex jump there. It's a risky move. Once you are airborne, all bets are off. Any contact is illegal.
Double whammy taking the star pass for Team Australia as Inkspill re-enters the back of the pack.
Chaos and the pack are now holding. There was no pack was called. Pack is reformed with Dynamite dropping off. Chaos dropping off. And that is last line of defence. New Zealand
45 alarm her.
But the fight.
Whammy is through, putting the star on her
This
head.
is what champions do. Champions do not come to get everything they want. They come to give everything they've got. And that is what we just saw there.
A big apex jump attempt by Inkspill, but run back by Rat Bag. The jammer now turned blocker.
Double whammy is doing it again. No give, no retreat, no surrender. Look at those legs working and pushing.
Australia working on their defense. They do not want to give up any more points. They want to keep their lead, keep that differential in their favor as Whammy is just...
Inkspill, you can see, is exhausted. Both jammers exhausted, but champions, both of them, giving every last drop in their bodies.
They have got 10 seconds left to try and get any more points for their country, both working incredibly hard. Look at this one-on-one blocking at the top of the apex there. That is Iris from Team Australia working against an exhausted Inkspill.
Taking the lungs away from a jammer, and there is Dinatello calling the end of the jam.
Listen to the crowd.
Crowd going wild. This
Whammy.
is a roller derby, people.
What a game to start off our day. Track 2 on Team Fem Division. An incredible mammoth effort by both teams.
Magnificent game.
Wow, and that is our rolling whistle. Our final scores for today. Both teams working absolutely, giving everything. Team New Zealand finishing on 96 points with a 16-point final jam. Australia, however, taking the win, 113 points.
Congratulations, both teams. Congratulations, Junior Roller Derby Association.
Goodness, what a
Thank you
game.
for bringing this tournament to us. Thank you for joining us here at Track 2. I've been Sweet and Fatty Adams.
And I've been Kilbo Baggins. Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around, there's more action to...
And we will see you back here for Sweden v Denmark.